So I finished watching recently released from Discotech Media, Mazinkaiser versus the Great General of Darkness. This is an OVA that came out in 2003. It is dubbed, so that's nice. It's basically it's 1 hour long, a little over an hour, but it's got credits in it. And it says, in the darkest Mazinger story of all, Mazinkaiser and the Mazinger army fight a desperate war against a lost empire, and that would be the was it the Mycenae Empire, as they are going full on attacking Earth, and the only one that can stop them is Mazinkaiser. And so basically, it starts with Koji Kabuto, who was the pilot of I think he was Great Mazinger, but I'm not sure. I believe he was either Great Mazinger or Mazinger Z, but I think it was Great Mazinger. And so basically, the Mycenae army is slaughtering the Mazinger army. And I'll give you an example because the movie gets kind of graphic. And so one of the ones early on is Million Alpha, which is piloted by Lori and Loru. And it's one of those female robots that they like to produce back then. And the two pilots, Lori and Loru, are in the robot's boobs, and they have kind of a glass dome over them. And early on in the movie, one of the enemy robots reaches around and grabs her by the boobs and squeezes, and you see the glass crack and then just blood everywhere, and it's pretty gruesome. So that's the kind of movie. So that was, I would say, there is decapitations, there is some other things. So it gets kind of gruesome because they really are working them over. So the animation is really nice in this. I like this one. I think overall I enjoyed it, even though it's only 60 minutes. There's very little story. Archduke Gorgon, and I'll show you what Archduke Gorgon, if people aren't aware, he is kind of half of the one of these Mycenae like gods, and half Sabretooth, but he's got the entire body of the Sabretooth, and then he's kind of attached to the back. Now here he looks as big as Mazinger Z, but in this movie, and I thought that regularly he was more like regular human size, but he's practically invincible. Like they don't seem to be able to kill him regardless. They do finally. But I would say the most disappointing part of this movie is probably the final confrontation, because Mazinkaiser is so ridiculously overpowering that his fight with, I mean, the Great General of Darkness is shown to be pretty tough, but the fight does not go on that long. And so that is kind of my biggest problem, is I would have liked to have seen a bigger fight, and I would have liked to have felt like Mazinkaiser was fighting a probably losing battle rather than, and I think they do show like the Great General of Darkness possibly being stronger, but in the end he's beaten fairly easily. So I thought I would also show a little bit of some of the figures that go with that. This is a figure I have had on pre-order for years now. So this is the Great General of Darkness, $500, sold out. It's been pushed back so many times. I don't believe it will ever come out. If it did, it would be, I would fall over and be so thrilled. It's 25 inches tall. It's a big one, big PVC. I don't believe that there is any. Yeah, it's just vinyl. The whole thing is vinyl. And then of course you got, if you want a Mazinkaiser figure, boy, you got a whole lot to choose from, including some real high-end ones. You got Carbonics here. CCS Toys, Sentinel, high-end figures, and then you can go down into some of these models if you want to get a model. So there is no lack of figures when it comes to Mazinkaiser. I I'm pretty sure that Bandai did make a Great General of Darkness, but I that was before I started collecting, so I didn't get that. So I would say that I recommend this. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice, and I think it does add to the story. There's the story of Mazinger Z, Great Mazinger, and all the various characters. It's I don't know if it's considered in continuity. I don't know if we accept that Laurie and Loru were killed in this movie, and it is a remake of an older movie. So these are my other. This is Great Mazinger complete series. This is Mazinger Z, Volume 1. I never got Volume 2, but I am kind of inspired to rewatch these at some point. I really need to sit down and watch them again because I kind of have given this series some negative reviews, but I think I need to give it another chance. So anyway, Mazinkaiser versus Great General of Darkness. I will give this my thumbs up. It's a little expensive for a 60-minute movie. I'm not going to deny that, but I had fun with it. And if you're a fan of Mazinger or Mazinkaiser, I don't think you'll be disappointed. And I believe that this is the first Western release of it. And like I said, it is dubbed. Okay, so that's Mazinkaiser versus Great General of Darkness.